is Dr. James, and today I'm going to do an unboxing of the Ender 3 3D printer. And I've been hearing nothing but good stuff about this 3D printer. I have been doing some videos on 3D printing. I had built a 3D printer a long time ago. Actually, I didn't do a video on that way back before anyone had 3D printers. And it's basically as a rep-rap type 3D printer, and it's kind of in disrepair. There's a lot of maintenance to keep that thing going. And I have been using Fairfax County and has been having free 3D printer services. You can just draw something up. I use FreeCAD typically and send in my parts because I build parts for my mad science experiments. And they've been printing it for free, so I get free thermoplastic, free labor in printing it. Very cool. But I thought it would be good, you know, with the end of all humanity coming, with the NWO, I figured it would be good to have my own 3D printer just in case they discontinue our government or other crazy things happen. With all this, anyway, I can't talk about this type of stuff. It's really under totalitarian censorship. But let's talk about 3D printers, okay? And here we go. A couple of my friends and known people or have seen reviews say the Ender 3 is great. We have a electronics store near us that's called Micro Center, and I'm sure you can probably order these online. I got this from Micro Center. They're selling normally for $200, but they're running some kind of special deal, half off, $100 off. So $100 for this guy. And let's take a look at the box, and let's try to unbox this and see how it looks. Okay, so here is the Ender 3 Pro. There's the box, and some kind of razor blade thing that I made for my project. Let's take a look here. Let's see if we can open this guy up and see what's inside. Okay. Come on. Probably want to be careful when you're cutting that you don't cut too deep into the box. Okay. Very cool. Remember I was telling the machinist at work, robots are the future. He said if that's the case, the future is now, because pretty much all the machining is done by CNC robots, running mills and lathes. They're all robots, and this is a robot as well. I guess normal printers were robots, but this is really a robot. Okay, so let's take a look here. Got a top here. After sale service card. What is this? Okay. That's the thermoplastic. I guess we got some kind of discount on that. I know I have some thermoplastic for my old 3D printer. If I can find it, I bought some gold and black. I don't know why. Oh, I know. I bought black because black is a neutral color and it's cool for gadgets. And I think my daughter wanted gold, so I bought gold. But it wasn't really super gold, but it kind of looked gold, but it's not metallic or anything. Okay, so here's some kind of board. And well, it looks like there is a lot of parts here. Okay, we gotta get this from another perspective. Okay, so let's get some of these parts out of here. Here is This looks like the screen, kind of screen thing. Put it in there. And I'm not sure how the best way to pull this stuff out. Here we go. Looks like a couple of stepper motors. For 3-axis printing, you need probably 3 stepper motors. Looks like 2 of them are attached to this thing here. Looks very nice. Brass and steel. This feels like, actually this is probably aluminum. It's a little bit heavy, but I think the stepper motors are heavy. I think the stepper motors have steel in them, but I think these other bracket things are aluminum. Very cool, huh? Some kind of crossbar. I'll have to look at the directions because this looks like it's going to be an involved project. Looks like here's the main part. Oh my gosh. Come on. Here we go. See if we can get that in frame. Looks like the main base plate. Okay. And it's tethered to, looks like some kind of thing on rollers. So let me find a place to put this down. And what else we got here? Looks like maybe a power supply, or a place where you can plug it in. Very cool. On and off switch. Standard computer plug in. And I think this is going to be a lot sturdier than the one I built because I just had the electronics kind of spaghettied together. Maybe someday I'll do a video on that. That was, I forget the name of the group that made that one. That was several years ago. Oh, okay, let's take a look here. Okay. Look down inside, and there's even more stuff inside the box. Looks like another stepper motor. Some kind of pulley thing here. And another cross beam. Okay. Oh, it looks like it comes with some PLA, some plastic. And this might be nozzles or something in here. And some other stuff. This looks like some more hardware with pulleys on it. This has got a pulley. Okay, and some kind of plugs here. Here's our cord. Good, because I can always find these around someplace because there's always a lot of them, but it's always nice to have one. Some kind of bracket with a hole in it. Looks like some more rollers for stuff that slides back and forth. Ooh, some fasteners. And something inside the mystery box here. I know what that is. That's to scrape the part off. Because I always had problems. First of all, when you're doing the printing, I know you want to, using my old printer, you want to make sure the part's on good because if it's not, it will break away and then you just get a bunch of spaghetti mess. And if it's on too hard, it's hard to get off without breaking the part. So anyway, here's some kind of plastic dingle bob, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to look at the directions. And I think that's it. I think that is it for our box. Okay, so we'll get all this stuff out of here. Oh, it's so beautiful, isn't it? This box stuff away. And we will take a look at what we have here and start working on this project. I don't like to have the stuff sitting too close to the edge, right? Let's take a look here. So this stuff looks kind of fragile. We don't need to have it drop on the floor. So we'll get it away from the edge. And look at that. Very cool. Lots of stuff here. Okay, so let me take a look at the directions. And we will see exactly how to set this up. Directions are in this baggy thing here. Let's take a look here. Here's our baggy thing. Thanks for your order. Let's see what's in this after sale service card. Oh, no directions here. There's one more thing in the bag. Maybe the directions are online. Qualified certificate. Oh, look at this. Okay. Oh. Yes. Very cool. Here is the directions. Okay. Here's step 1. List of parts. Okay, step 2. Putting the parts together. Oh, I guess these are all just lists. This has steps on this back side. Okay, so I see it's got a list here, list there, and step, 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 step. Okay, very cool. We'll take a look at that. Okay, well, I guess we will start with step 1. Okay, so step 1 uses these 2 long beams and these screws, and so I think this is probably it. I think this is 2 long beams kind of heat shrink together, and it feels like there's a bolt inside of there that's sliding back and forth. So we'll see. We'll take this guy apart here. Oh. Looks like there's some kind of threaded rod with heat shrink going down the center of this one. Okay, let me look at the direction some more. Okay, so here's a bag here. It looks like a lot of our fasteners and stuff are in here. And supposedly there's some big screws or bolts, if you prefer. Bolts and screws just depend on whether they have a nut or they screw into something. Anyway, are these them maybe? No, I don't think they are, because if we look at our parts list here, the ones that they're wanting to use don't have threads all the way up, so that's probably not them. Maybe. Let's see what we got here. Oh, come on, really? Oh, a pair of snippers. Very cool. Got some mini screwdrivers and some mini wrenches, some Allen wrenches. Holy cow. Now what is that thing? Is that like a... looks like a heater filament or something almost. Okay, I've been trying to match up the screws to what's in the list here. And these are supposed to be the longest ones. They're supposed to be 45 millimeters long by 5 millimeters in diameter. And I think they might be... oh, come on. These might be the screws, even though it depicts them as not having threads all the way down, and these do. So I think those might be the proper screws. So I think we'll go ahead and try putting those in. It looks like those screws go through the base here and into these long pieces, so they stand up straight. Okay. Okay, so these two posts are not the same. You want to see, take a look at the diagram here. One's got two holes like that, and they're to be oriented on the inside. And the other one has two holes at the bottom, like this one. So this is part 16, I guess, and that one's part 15. And I was just test fitting one of these screws. It looks like these screws do fit into the bottom here. So let's try to put it into the machine there. Okay. Okay, so let's try. this beam here goes on this side like so. And let's feed these screws up from the bottom. Put one up through here, like so. Let's take a look here. Okay, so this beam goes on this side with the 2 screw holes down, like so. And I get 2 of these screws out of this bag. Get a second one out. Okay, looks like they gave me 5, so there's an extra one in there. And these screws go in through the bottom here, like so. Oh, come on. There's one. And let's see if I can get the other screw through the bottom here. Okay. There's 2. And we will mount this thing with the holes inward like so above these screws. And I gotta screw that in like that. Okay. Okay, it looks like we have a bunch of Allen wrenches here, and I am hoping that one of these Allen wrenches is the right size to fit onto our screw here. Now let's just try it out, see if I can do this with one hand. And yes, indeed it is. Perfect size. So we'll use this to screw in our screws from the bottom and screw this guy into place like so. Okay. Just like you can get these started by hand from underneath. And I'll just kind of screw these in as much as I can. And then tighten her up with the Allen wrench here. Okay. Very cool, huh? Okay, so here's a shot from the bottom. I tipped the thing on the side. And we'll just try screwing these in. Oops. Get these both tight. And now we'll put the other post on the other side. Oh, where'd that go? Okay, and here's the bottom side. And I guess while I have this flipped over, why not get the screws in the other for the other leg? It's gonna go up. And slip this guy up over. Come on. Oh, come on, really? Let's get him. Come on. There's one through, and there's 2. Okay. And probably want to keep this wire out of the way while we get this other post fastened in there. And remember, the holes, according to the direction, should be downward. Okay. I'll get those screwed in and go on to the next step. Okay, so I got the post in there, I got the screws threaded in a little bit, and probably want to make sure not to pinch that wire where you're screwing these things down. Okay. I'll keep this wire out of the way. Okay. We'll get those screwed in all the way, and then I'll set it back up and we'll take a look. Okay, there we go. Let's set this thing back up. Oh, come on. Let's take a look at her. And there we go. There is step 1. Step 1 right here. So step 2 is to So I put a bunch of stuff on here. The front panel and the power supply. Okay, so that attaches to these upper bolts here, like so. I gotta find the right screws, it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna attach the the front panel, the ender front panel, which is here, and the power supply, which is over there. And let me make sure I find the right bolts that go in there. Okay. Okay, so here's our power supply, and I pulled these plugs out of there, and our front panel, which is, oh, I want to be careful with this thing. Looks like it's got a little knob and a little LCD screen. Okay. It looks like those parts both go on the right-hand side of the machine over here. Okay, I see. The front panel goes like this, it looks like. And it screws onto the front down here. Looks like there's some holes in that 80/20 fixture. And so maybe I'll try to find these screws. Should be the smallest screws, 4-piece. And I bet they're in this bag. Okay. So we'll pull them out. And use those. Yeah, let's see, they're the only small ones with a round cap, I think. And we'll get this front panel mounted on there. Okay, so let's take a look here. So here is our 80/20 fixture. And we have these little screws here, and fortunately they did provide a Allen wrench that fits these guys. And here is our ender front screen. So it's going to go like that. Okay, fit on there. And let's get our screws. It looks like it only takes 2 screws. Okay, again, here we go. Zoom in on a little bit. And so we'll get our screws in there. 1 and 2. Okay. And let's just get this guy tightened down. Like so. Okay, so now that one is in place, and I'm going to get this power supply on here next, which I have sitting over here. And this thing is going to fasten onto this bar right here, like so. Okay, and I have to find the right screws. That one requires a couple different screws, so let me look for that. Okay, so I'm just setting all the screws out with this chart here, and I think it's probably these 2 screws here, the 2-piece, because it says 4x20. 4x20 is a 2-piece. Okay, and so I believe that these 2 are the ones that go into these holes here, there and there, to fasten this guy on. Okay, so let's give that a try. Okay, so we got our screws here. And we'll just cut the bag, get our 2 screws out. And here is our power supply. Okay. And it's going to go like so on here. And let's just take a look at this from a different angle. Okay. So this is our power supply. And there is a screw hole right here, which goes into our power supply. Let's take a little bit closer look at that. Okay, so again, this piece has two screw holes, one up here, and I just put the screw hole in the screw into the screw hole to hold the top of this on. And there's another one at the bottom, which I'll try to get that screw in there and lined up. And we do have an Allen wrench for both of these guys, so we can get these both screwed in. I kind of tighten the top one up a little bit already, but oh, come on. We gotta line the bottom one up and get that one screwed in. Okay. And so these both screw into that power supply. Oh, come on. We have to put the camera down to fiddle with this because it's a little bit hard to get that hole lined up. And it's blind. Okay, I guess I got it. And let's get these both tightened up. And it looks like it's coming right along. Very cool, huh? Okay, so the next thing the directions are telling me is you want to make sure that the proper voltage is selected on the back of this power supply. So I'm going to be running this off of 110. So I want to make sure that that's not set incorrectly before you turn this thing on. Could be a bad day. Things don't like to run at the wrong voltage. Okay. So I think with that, we are complete with step 2. Alright, 2 bolts on the power supply, 2 bolts on the front panel. And what is this? I guess we'll go on to step 3. Okay. It looks like it requires some of these sliding nuts. And I need to locate what the heck this thing is. Let's see, did I see that someplace? Should be here. I'm not seeing it though. That's not it, is it? Oops. Okay, I don't know, maybe the printer's sitting on it. Okay, I'll look around for wherever this piece is. 09. Piece 09 looks like that. Okay. Okay, I think I located part 09. I think it's this thing, which is inside this bag with the PLA, the plastic. And this looks like it is probably it. It's got those same kind of weird sliding nuts that you use on the 8020. And it looks like it's an L shape like this thing with a little thing sticking out at the bottom. And so it looks very similar. Got some kind of, yeah, it looks like that's the switch maybe. It's like there's a switch up there. Okay, so this thing somehow goes on this leg over here. So I guess, let me get it out of the bag. And typically these nuts, you know, you put them sideways. If you put them the wrong way, they don't grab on. So you put them sideways, and then they grab onto the 80-20, and then you can tighten it up. And I'm not sure if that has to be calibrated and positioned, or maybe that's just needs to be at a single place so that the machine knows where to start. Just got a repeatable locator. Let's get this out of the bag. Come on. Okay, so here is our limit switch. And it's got those, might have to loosen those up. It seems like they're pretty tight. I'll see if I can find the Allen wrench to loosen those up. And let's see, it goes on in this orientation, like so. Now I'm probably gonna have to slide it in from the top up here. Oops. Let me get these loosened up first. Okay, again, I found an Allen wrench that fits these guys. And let's come around to this side of the machine. And we will see if we can get these. Remember, you want these to be sideways like so. I'm going to start at the top of the 80-20. And they need to be oriented. I think once you get them in the proper way, they don't rotate. Okay, you get that one in sideways as well. Come on. Oops. Okay, see that one's sideways. And this one is sideways also. So then it grabs onto the 80-20. We can slide this thing down like so. And I'm just going to lock it into place right there for now. If I have to adjust where it is, then I'll do that. But I suspect that maybe a lot of these things just use these limit switches. Is when they start up, they need to figure out where the stepper motors are, so they drive them all the way down to this limit switch trips. So as long as it's a consistent location, make sure I didn't, okay. I want to make sure that wasn't interfering with the, let's see, I got a little bit skewed. I want to make sure that wasn't rubbing there. Okay, so it looks like it'll probably function okay. So we got that guy in place. And we're just moving right along. So I believe that's all we have to do for step 3. So step 4, let's see, what do we got here? It looks like a stepper motor and possibly that long screw thing. The 2-piece screws with the pan heads. Okay, I think I saw them a little bit ago. And we're going to mount that stepper motor. Looks like we're looking at the back of the machine now. Okay. Okay, so we're going to mount that stepper motor. And it looks like it's this one with the, let's see, it's probably this guy over here. The coupling on it. So he is going to mount to the back of the leg where we just put the switch on. Okay. So let's go around here. It looks like he is going to mount back here, like so. And it looks like there are 2 screw holes that you can screw in to mount to here. And are those threaded? I don't know. I don't know if those are threaded. I hope they are. Let me see if I can find the screws, those panhead screws, which are probably these 2. Let's see if we can screw those into those holes up there. Okay. Okay, so I found another Allen wrench. I'm going to have to use this probably to help it get into that hole. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's got threads in there. Let's take a look here. It looks like it is threading in properly. And before I tighten that up, let me get the other screw in place, because you don't want to get the one tight and in the wrong position so you can't line up the other screw, right? So I'll get the other screw onto our Allen wrench, and I think we might be golden here. This thing's pretty awesome. It's going together really quick. Make sure not to cross thread those things. Okay. Look at that. Wow. Tighten both these Allen wrenches up. And I may have to realign this because if it's off-centered a little bit, it looks like that screw is pretty long. You don't want that to be off at the top, so I may have to tighten that up after I get things all settled. But very cool, huh? Okay, so let's take a look over here. And I believe, oh, we gotta put this thing in now. The threaded rod. I'm not sure if the sheath has got to be on it or not. Not sure if that sheath was just to protect it, or I'm going to assume it's got to be uncovered because you might usually have to have something slide up and down the threaded rod. We'll need to investigate that a little bit. Okay, so we got our threaded rod back here, and we have this coupling, and I have it turned around so I can get to these screws. It's got a slit there, so it can kind of grab onto something when you tighten those screws down. And we got our super long threaded rod here, and we will stick it, I guess, down that hole. So yeah, it definitely wouldn't fit in this hole with that rubber thing in place. And for right now, I think I will, okay, so this bottom set screw holds it to the stepper, so you don't want to undo that one. So I'll just tighten up the top one a little bit for right now, so we can hold this threaded rod in place. Okay. And I do believe that that is the end of step 4. Stepper motor and threaded rod to the back of the machine, like so. Okay. And the threaded rod does extend above the top a little bit. And so we'll go on to step 5. Let's see how many steps we got. 12. Okay, so step 5, we're going to want these bars, 80-20, small 80-20, square one, and 2 pieces of those. I'll have to make sure I can find those screws. And stepper motor. Okay, so we're going to mount a stepper motor onto one of these things. I think this is the only other 80-20 that we have left. And this is, what, 4x16? And just make sure, we'll go back to our screw chart. 4x16, so there's 4 of them. But we're only going to use 2 on this part. And I suspect this is the 4x16s, and they've included 5. It's always nice to have an extra screw. Okay. And the stepper motor assembly, it looks like this is the one with the 2 stepper motors on it. So it must be this guy right here. Okay. And it's oriented kind of like that, it looks like. And I'm going to unwrap these guys. So these guys are wrapped together, and I think they are the 80-20 that we're supposed to be using here. Oh, I'm just going to put the camera down to undo this saran wrap. Okay, so we'll compare these to our list 2 again. And again, list 2 says that there are 4 pieces of 80-20 and this long threaded rod thing. And these are not identical. They are different parts. 18 and 19. So 19 has 2 screws and 2 screws like that. And 18 has, looks like 6 screws. Okay, 6 screws there. Okay, 3 at each end. And I think it's 18 that the directions say that we want for this one. So let's go up here. Yeah, it says part 18. Okay. And so 18 is the one with 3 screws at that end and 3 screws at this end, and it's not symmetric. See, it's not symmetric. These screws are spaced out more, and these are closer together. And it looks like from this that those screws are pointing, this more tightly spaced screws here are pointing toward our part that we need to mount them to. And I need to figure out the orientation of this thing, because that's looking pretty crazy. Okay, let's see, how does this thing go? Maybe like this? Oh, wow. It looks like the screws come in from the side. Okay, so there's a roller, so I see the roller here. Yeah, and this has got the machinery stuff here, which looks like there's some machinery stuff there. So I believe this is oriented like that. And this part goes like this. Oh, I see. So that bored out area goes over this nut. Then we gotta screw that to these screws here. And it looks like the screws have to come in into the middle of it, maybe. Have to come in here, and then you use these other holes to screw it with an Allen wrench, it looks like. I believe that's what it looks like to me. Wow. See, here's the front part. That goes with that. That's to that. This part's pointing out that way. This part here, where this thing mounts to, I believe is here. And it mounts onto the side of this part 80/20. So that goes over the screw. And then you mount the 2 screws from the back side into here like so. Let's see if I can get them in there. Okay. Okay, so here's our assembly. And there is the screw holes. Let's see if I can just do it like this. Put those screws, oh come on, through the hole like so. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. So there's one through. And I'll get the other through like so. See that? Okay. Oh, come on. It's a juggling act, I guess. Get both of these screws through there. Then I'll get this 80/20 and screw it onto there like so. And I'm going to have to put the camera down to do that because I need 3 hands. Otherwise, we'll get the screw started and then we'll take a look at how that fits on. Okay, new plan. I think I'll just take this guy and set him on top of the one we're not using to get him up in the air a little bit so that will clear the stepper motor. We'll turn this guy so that the screws are pointing down so they don't fall out. And we'll get those screws into those holes. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm still going to need to set the camera down because this is not stable. Okay. See how that goes in there. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. So then I can get my Allen wrench through there and screw these screws into that 80/20 thing, hopefully. And get it lined up. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Okay, yeah, well. Okay, let's get that going. Oh, come on. Okay, again, here is our stepper motor assembly. And there's our 80/20. I have the Allen wrench in there showing you how you screw that thing in. This is the one with the barcode, so it's pointing down like that toward the 80/20. And I do believe, let's get this lined up the same way. That is how this thing is to be assembled. Comparing that to step 5. Okay. And there we go. I believe that is the same. Okay. So let's move on to, I guess, step 6. Looks like there's some kind of trolley thing. Oh, several different parts here. Okay, so we're adding on to this guy. We have a trolley thing with a stepper motor on it, which looks like this thing here. And another trolley thing. It's just got a weird triangle shape, which I think is this guy. Okay, so we got that guy. These two guys here are our trolleys. And another one of these 4/16 screws, which is the one that we just used, I believe. These ones right here. Okay. Okay, so we got to put this trolley on there, and then we screw this other thing into place. Okay. Let me get that oriented. Oh, come on, really? Okay, so I have this, I think, oriented the same way that it is in this diagram, with this brass knurl thing pointing up, and we have the back of the stepper motor here, and this triangle thing here, and it says we are to put the trolley on with the two wheels on the top and the one on the bottom. So here's our trolley, and we'll see if we can get this on here like so. Come on. Okay. Okay, there. We have the trolley on. And let's compare that to the picture. The trolley's on with the two wheels at the top and the one at the bottom. And now this crazy looking thing is to be oriented like that. And it looks like that cutout there is for the screw that goes right in the middle. And there we go, it looks like it lines up. And let's get our two screws from over here and screw them into this guy. Okay. I think our assembly will be done. Okay, so again I have this 4x6mm screw. And those really stick tight into this Allen wrench, which I guess is good because it holds them in place. And we'll get this assembly screwed on there. Well, it looks like that one's going on fine. And we'll get that screw in place. And we'll just get those tightened up. And then I think this assembly will be done. Very cool, huh? Oh, come on. Ah. This design looks pretty nice. I like the way they have this. These cables look pretty solid. Looks like this hollow tube is probably the feed for the PLA plastic. Okay, and there we go. Here's our final assembly with the trolley on here so it can slide back and forth. And two stepper motors on the rail that's going to probably go up and down, I'm going to guess. Yeah, probably these are a trolley that go up and down one of these legs here. So we'll see what the next step is. What is the next step? That was number 6. Okay, so the next step is number 7. Need to find this guy, part number 7. Part number 7 looks like it goes on the back here, and it has one of those slide nuts. Okay. Let's see if I can find that guy. It's probably this thing in there. So he's in the PLA bag as well. Okay. Yep, and it's got those kind of nuts on it. It looks like this goes on the end here. Let's orient this the same way. Okay, Okay, so we get him oriented like that. And let's just turn him around. Okay. There, I don't want to flex these hoses too much because I might break them or something. Oh yeah, that's where the print nozzle is, it looks like. Okay, and it looks like... Okay, so... Wait. Okay, there. It wants to be oriented like that. Okay, so see, this part corresponds to that part. The trolley is pointing this way. This is on the back side here. See, this wing thing's on the back side. And it looks like this guy slides in like this on this end. So I gotta loosen these slide nuts up, and we'll try sliding that on and see if we can get that in place. Okay, so I got these slide nuts loosened up so they can rotate a little bit. And remember, you want to stick them on so they're sideways, so they grab on into this guy, like I did on the other ones. Oh, come on. It's kind of hard to see that from this angle. You want them to not be like that so that they don't grab onto the sides. You want them to be the long ways sideways. And it's... okay, it's a little bit of a chore to get the thing lined up to do that. So it wants to rotate on me. So, come on. Oh, come on. Rotate it a little bit more than I need it. Okay, see that? See how it goes in sideways like so? That's how you want those nuts to be. And I guess they don't want this roller thing to rub against here, and you may have to pull it out and tighten it because they're going to stick a belt, or we're going to stick a belt that's going to go along this length, and this is going to hold it in place. It'll be like a roller that holds this belt. It's going to pull this trolley back and forth. Okay. So let me get our thing. I'll just tighten it up temporarily now to hold it in place, and then probably we'll make some final adjustments later to make sure the machine is all aligned and tightened up properly, tensioned up. Okay, and there we go. There is our belt roller for our trolley to pull this thing back and forth. Very cool, huh? Okay, so the next step is step 8, and I'm going to orient our slider bar, I don't know what you want to call this, same way as in our drawing. And here's our stepper motor, here's our trolley thing, I guess the trolley bar. And remember, we put the roller on back over here, and it says that we are to take the belt. We have a toothed belt in here, which the stepper motor can pull back and forth. And it is inside of this bag. Okay. And here is our belt. And, oh, come on. Let's get this out of here. It's a rubber belt. And it's got some clips at either end. And I was kind of looking at, I like to look over the project a little bit before I start it. So it looks like that belt has got to go down this track, around the stepper motor, and then there are some little slots here at the bottom. Let me see if I can point to those, like right here, and one on the other side of the trolley. Come on. I'm trying to be careful not to bend that hose up there. So one right there and one right here. And it looks like that belt at the end hooks into those. See, we've got this drawing here, and it hooks into the bottom. So we're going to hook that belt into the bottom. It's going to go around this gear pulley across the top. maybe probably under these trolley wheels. You don't want to go over that. Around this pulley at the end, back, and then clip on the other side. So this looks like a fun task here. Okay. I can't seem to get this thing to stay in place. I'm going to hold it up in place while I work on this. See if I can find a box or something to stick it on. Okay, also you probably want to make sure that the teeth are pointing up because you want those teeth to grab onto the teeth stepper motor gear thing. And so I'm going to take this belt and try to do the impossible here. Feed it up backwards through here. Oh, come on. Get it onto the trolley like so. Okay. And then we will spool this guy out so we can put that, feed it through here, through our stepper motor thing here, through the bottom. Come on. Wants to curl up. Okay, so we'll feed it through the bottom, snake that thing around that gear. Let's just pull it all the way through first. Probably want to be careful you don't damage this thing because it's probably hard to get another one of these. You probably have to write the company or something. I don't know where you get one of these. Okay. Make sure the teeth are up. It's going to go around that gear thing. I'm going to feed this thing back out around the top before I get it positioned in there. Because it's got to go back down the top of the trolley like so. So get that back in there. Come on. And that doesn't. Yeah, oh man, maybe I should have fed it in from the other direction because it's going to be hard to get it out that little crack up there. Yeah, I can feed it out the side and loop it around. Come on, really? Oh, there we go. Starting to come out where it's supposed to. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, nah. Okay, come on. Let's get out there. I can bend this so it's straighter. Might have been a good idea to stick it through the other way first. We have to redo this. See if I can get that through. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this project, it looks like. Okay, there. A little bit of finagling, I was able to... Oh, no, don't go back in. No. Come on. Okay. So we actually want that thing to come out the top here, like so. So it's coming out the top. Make sure I do not push that back in. Jeez. Come on. So we'll push that guy out the top. There. I think you want to feed it under these trolley wheels. Maybe you can roll the trolley wheels back over top of it. Oh man. No, I know, let me just get this thing down further. Okay, because you want to get that looped around that gear, so I'm going to get that all the way through there first. Yeah, and I think pull this out. Make sure you don't kink it up here. Make sure this is all straightened out, because this is starting to twist, which is not good. Okay, get that all in the right orientation. Okay, so this is on the bottom of the trolley, comes under here, around that gear thing, like so. Come on. So you want it to be around the gear like that, so the gear grabs it. And it's got to go under these trolley wheels. So I think what I'm going to do is put it under there and just slide the trolley back over top of it. I can get it on the other side maybe. come on, come on. There we go. Okay, so I got it out the other side finally. Make sure it's not twisted anywhere along the path length. I'll pull this down around over this pulley if I can get it out of here. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Let me just see if I can get the whole thing straightened out up to this point. Okay, so let's see if we can get this whole thing straightened out up to that point. I have this looping through the trolley slot, coming down through the gear on the stepper motor, get that tightened up, and then back under the trolley. Let's see, we'll get that. Okay, it's tightened up around the stepper motor gear, down the trolley, okay, then over the pulley here, and then it comes back. We need to put it into the slot on the other side so it pulls the trolley back and forth from both sides. Okay, let me just recheck the belt. I'm going to need two hands to stick it into that slot there, just like the other ones in there. And I want to make sure the belt's not twisted or something along the path. And I think this step will be done. I'll try to do that. Okay, so here's the trolley assembly. And let's just take a look. So I have these two clips in place that hold the belt on there. We're going around the gear, across the top, under the trolley wheels, around the pulley, and back. So I think that assembly is complete. Okay, so that was step 8. It looks like the next step is step 9. Don't tighten it too tight. Okay. Not sure what's going on here. Looks like we're putting the trolley onto this thing. And there's some kind of screw thing that grabs onto this threaded rod, maybe? Okay. I have to look at this for a second to figure out what's going on here. That's step 9. Okay, so I kind of oriented our machine here in the same direction that it is on the picture here, with the threaded rod closest to us, and looks like this trolley thing goes in front. So we're going to take this trolley thing, as far as I can tell, see this screw here on the trolley thing right there? That goes onto this threaded rod, and they're saying don't tighten these up too tight. I'm not sure why. Let's just take a look here. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm having troubles getting this to reach. Wonder if I can disconnect that wire or something. It does not seem to be reaching. It seems like I have to see there's a trolley here and a trolley here, and those go onto these posts here and here. So this trolley and that trolley somehow got to go up over top of these, and then this brass thing has got to go over top of this threaded rod here. But this cable seems to be kind of short, so I'm not able to really get it up over this very well without, I don't want to stretch that too much. Oh. I'm going to have to fiddle with that and see. Okay. So just push stuff out of the way. Okay. Okay, I think I might have figured out what the problem is. If I slide this tray forward, and I'm turning it from the motor, with the motor off, of course, so I'm not putting a huge amount of force on the belt, then that's going to give me some more room with this cable here. Okay, still not quite enough. So. Oh, let's see. Okay, there we go. So sliding that bottom tray forward, that gave me enough clearance to get this thing on here. Okay. And I guess this screw thing's got to go in there, like so. I'm just turning that by hand. And I think, oh, let's see. This is skewed a little bit. Bring this back up. Got to make sure both trolleys on each side are on the rollers right and not skewed. Okay. There we go. Okay. Both of the rollers are on now. Both sets of rollers. Got the rollers on this side on. And you can turn these stepper motors. I was looking at this. This looks like a multi-threaded. It might have 3 threads on it. It's a very unusual threaded rod. It's not a normal one. That would make it move up and down a lot quicker than a normal threaded rod, which has a single thread. Yeah, the screw in there was looking funny too, so it looks like it has multiple threads, just as a side note. Okay, very cool. So I think we're getting close to being done. So that would be step number 9. Okay. And I guess step number 10 would be to take that last 80-20 piece, which is right here, and stick it on the top with these screws, which are 5 by 25. So I'll have to find those, and maybe that's them right there. And we'll stick that on the top, and it's getting very exciting, huh? Okay, so here's our 5 by 25 screws here, and here is our last piece. Let's put that up there, and I'll get some of these screws in place. Okay, get one on that side, and one on that side. And second one over here, and the second one over there. And we have our Allen wrench that came with these guys. Get it screwed in. We are getting very close to finishing. Very exciting, huh? Okay, and let's see, so we got that step done. Oh wait, there's some caveat here. I need to put some kind of plug at the end. Okay, I have to find these plugs. Okay, I'll have to find those plugs. So we're not quite done with step 10. Okay, so here is this part, profile cover. I think this is just to stop you from getting raked by sharp edges or something. We can fit that guy on there like that. Okay. And we'll put this one on the other side. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's looking pretty good, huh? So let's go on to the next step, which is the holder for the PLA. And so I think I got a lot of the parts here. Looks like 2 screws, these two nut things, and looks like this thing is going to face like that. I'm going to get those nut things in there because they have to kind of go down inside to hold it in place. Okay, let me get that open, and we'll get those in there and get this thing fastened on there. Okay, so sometimes these things are a little bit hard to get in there and oriented properly. Let's just try this. Try to get it in there and take an Allen wrench and rotate it. Well, come on. Okay, I got the Allen wrench in there and rotate it a little bit, like so. Okay, and then maybe we'll get our device here, put a screw in it. Let's put a screw in this thing. See if we can get one of these screws in here, because probably would have been easier to slide this on before I put those other screws on, like we did on the other one. We slid it in from the end. So it's sometimes hard to get these things lined up, like so. Where is it? Okay. See if we can get it in there and lined up. Get an Allen wrench, we'll try to screw that thing on. Okay, oh shoot, it twisted. Okay, I have a new strategy. I think I'll put them on the wrong way to get them into the slots. And once they're in there, I will maybe take an Allen wrench here and try to rotate them so that they are the right way. Let's see if I can get that in there. So when they're rotated the wrong way, they just pull right out, so you can put them in. And then this thing's not even balanced, so I can't balance it up there. See if I can get the Allen wrench in there and try to rotate it. Okay, so here we go. Take that Allen wrench and try to rotate that nut sideways. I got one of them in like this. And then once you get it sideways, then you can tighten it up on top to hold it in place. Let's see, I get that. Let's see, is it sideways? Let me see. It's hard to tell. I may have to fiddle with this while I'm trying to screw that thing in. Make sure that thing is sideways, because it doesn't hold it unless it's sideways. Okay. Okay, so it looks like I got that rotated properly because it is in there good. It's not coming out. And here is the thing that holds our spool. And it's just got something that you can stick through there. It twist locks to hold it in place. And so stick that on there like so. And lock it into place. And I think we're getting pretty close to being done. Very cool, huh? Okay, let's see what the next step is. Okay, that was step 11. I think we finished all the parts of that. And step 12, I guess, is to hook up all the plugs. E, X, Z, X, Z. Stepper. I think there's some more plugs because I didn't hook up the plug, or is this it? From the from the power supply to this guy. So I have this plug here that's in the open. Is there another plug here? Let's take a look at this thing. Okay. Got a bunch of plugs that aren't plugged in the stuff. Gotta figure out where all these go. Looks like there's some limit switches here. These are plugged in. There's a stepper motor over here that's not plugged in. And a power supply cable right here that's not plugged in. Okay. I'm gonna have to look at this a little bit and figure out where this stuff goes. Okay, I found one of the plugs. It looks like it's under here. So I have to see if I can fish this thing out. See where it goes. Oh, come on. Somehow fish that out and hook it up to the other side where that other power plug goes. Okay. Maybe this is all the power plugs in there. It's wound up. Come on. Or other connectors. See if I can fish these out. Not sure where they're going. Maybe if I move this tray back to where it was, I can get to them. They seem to be coiled up under here. Okay. Somehow I want to snake this guy over to the power supply plug, which I should probably feed that into down underneath the other side. Okay, because it looks like this guy has got to go to this guy over here. Okay. Ugh. So I'll try to snake this guy through here. Okay. And there, we can plug these two together. So that's one of the connectors. Okay, there we go. So I got those two plugged together, and that is this yellow connector here. But there's a bunch of cables that go to the stepper motors. Let's see if I can find where those go. I think they're coiled up underneath this platform, and I'll try to pull them out. Hopefully they're labeled. Okay, this one says Z. Okay, so this is going to be convenient because I think this is the Z stepper motor here. Yeah, if we look at our diagram here, Z is the vertical one. Usually convention Z is vertical. So that says Z. And see if we can plug that guy in there. Make sure you got it the right way. I don't know what happens if you try to plug it in upside down. It's probably not going to be too good. It's usually they're keyed so they only go one way. Okay, so there we got Z plugged in. Okay, so we got that one plugged in, that one plugged in. There's still X and E. X is... that's interesting. Y must be hooked up. E must be extrude. Oh, let's see. Looks like those wires come off of this thing and go down underneath someplace. And what do we got here? They have little labels on these things. If I can get them to turn around. There's E and X. E and X. And... okay, this is also labeled as X. Okay, so there's a 3-pin X, and what is that, a 6-pin X and E. And I'm not sure where those wires are. I think I'm gonna flip this thing over and see if I can pull some wires out from underneath of it. Okay, so I tipped it on this side because if I tip it the other way, this thing's kind of making it not sit even. So I tipped it onto its, I guess, left side. And it looks like this cable here has got the 2 stepper motors that go up to this thing up here. So I think I gotta unspool it from under here and run it up behind to those other stepper motors, because there's no way these will reach to this stepper motor and that stepper motor up there. Yeah, that's like way far away. So this cable, I think, was just spooled up under here to store it in this position. So we'll try to roll these things out of here. Come on. Be careful not to break off the connectors or something. Okay. And where is this going? Okay, yeah, it's coming around the bottom side here. So I'll just pull these cables out through here. Okay. And so here, these are free. Let me set this guy back up again. Okay. And I assume these go up here. What the heck? Are they labeled? Maybe I need to look at the diagram again. E and X and X. Let me look at this a little bit closer and see if I can. I want to make sure I know which one is which. Okay. Okay, so this one here is the extruder. Okay, and this one is the X. This X1 pulls this carriage back and forth here, and this extruder here has mechanisms to feed the filament in, and I believe this well, there's not a lot of room there, but this, maybe I got to disconnect this hose. This hose here is what feeds the filament down into the nozzle, and so I think that hose has got to connect to this guy. I may have to remove these zip ties here, looks like. But anyway, I'm just going to get the electrical hooked up first. So that one says X, and this one says E, and there's a second one for X, which might be some kind of switch or something like that. So let's get the E hooked up first. Check it. That says E. And make sure the keying is proper. Make sure you don't bend those pins when you push this thing in. Kind of push it in evenly. I like to rock it back and forth, or kind of push in the middle if I can, as much as possible. So the extruder is in place now. And here is the X. Again, this is labeled as X. And make sure this thing is keyed properly. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. This is the 3-pin one. Here we need this one. X. And we'll get the X plugged in here. Patience. Patience, patience. Okay. So there is the X. Oh, okay, I think I found the other. That must be, okay, so, okay, make sure we got the X in place. So there's the X pin plug right there. And it looks like there's some kind of, probably switch or something that senses when this comes to an end. And that is the X switch. And it looks like this thing plugs into that plug there on the X servo. Okay, make sure that is keyed properly. And we will get it in there. And it's got to kind of go way down deep in there. I may need 2 hands to stick it in. Oh gosh. Okay, well, I don't want to break the wires by pushing on it like that. Maybe need a screwdriver or something to help push it in. Okay, I just kind of got it lined up and I use an Allen wrench kind of pushing in between the wires. I got it pushed in there. And so that is going to be the switch that allows the X carriage to locate its position. Basically, it will probably scroll it all the way over till it hits this switch, and then it will say, okay, that's 0 position. And looks like there's one not plugged in down here still. Oh, you know where this goes? This goes to that switch, of course. Is that on this? Yeah, that would be the Z switch. So we've got the X switch. Haven't plugged the Z switch in yet. X switch, Z switch, X stepper motor, E stepper motor, Z stepper motor, E stepper motor, X stepper motor plugged in. Okay. And then there'll be, okay, so this one has got to go to the switch here. And let's see which way is it keyed. It's keyed like this, so I gotta somehow stick it up under there. Okay. You probably want to be careful. I'm just going to pinch it against the connector because I don't want to break the solder inside of that. That would be so bad. So I just pinched it like that to get it together because you don't want to push really hard on this and break the solder joints in there. Okay. So that switch is hooked up. And it looks like there's a couple data buses or something that we have to hook up still. Let's see. What is this? Oh, okay, that's the extruder. Yeah, the extruder's got to go into there. Right, that's that hose. I think I'm going to have to cut those zip ties because that hose is, see, the filament is going to come out of this thing, and it's got to go through this hose. It comes out of here, it's got to go through this hose and down to the nozzle. But this hose is zip tied down here. There's no way that that will reach to that thing. So I cut this free. I assume I have to cut this free, and be careful when you do this. So you don't want to cut those wires. That would be a nightmare. Have to fix those wires. I think I'm going to cut it up here too, because it should be completely free of this other cable. Okay, let's do this. And so this goes into this holder here somehow. Oh, wait, does it go into here? I don't know, I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. I think it's not clear on how. I know this is like a guide for the filament to go down to the nozzle, which is down under here. It's got to go through this, and this is the extruder, which is off to the side. I'm not sure how this connects to that. It's not clear in this picture. There must be some hardware that goes with that. Okay. Yeah, let me just go onto this. So there's a plug that goes to this board, EXP3. And I remember seeing, okay, let's tip this guy over again. There's a data line plug under here that comes from this controller, and it's got to go to the LCD display up here. And it says it goes into EXP3. This is EXP1, EXP2, so it's got to go into this one somehow. And again, let me take a look here at the keying of this cable. So it looks like it's keyed on the top, so it will fit into EXP3 like so. Okay. Again, that is our LCD display. Okay. And I'm going to have to figure out the hardware on how to hook this hose to this guy. Okay, so here we go finally. And I think this is the connectors for that. Let's brighten this up a little bit. Looks like there's a spare nozzle in here and two of these connectors for the hose and some blue things. I'm not sure what those blue things are for. Let's take a look at this stuff. Okay, so this looks like one of those things where you can hook a hose into it and it, like you can press this to release it. And like a pressure connector. And it looks like we can use that here. Screw that into the nozzle thing. Okay. And we should be able to press this hose into there, and it should stay in place, maybe? Hopefully. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, so there the filament goes into the extruder, I'm not sure how, and it goes through this and pushes it down through the nozzle. And I have some other things to hold on to the hose or something maybe. I'll figure those out later. Okay. Did want to mention, it looks like there is a little device here for translating SD cards to your computer. I always like these things. Let's see, is this USB to SD maybe? Come on. And actually it is USB to SD card. And see if I can pull that SD card out with one hand. Oh, come on. There we go. So the SD card goes in there. It's 8 gigabytes. Very cool. I'm not sure how that goes into this thing though. Not really seeing an input into this guy. Maybe it's on the other side. How does this take an input? That's the question. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, I see. It doesn't go into there. It goes into this guy here. So it looks like we have a SD card input and a micro USB. Okay, there we go. So we can stick an SD card into this guy to upload our files. Looks like it goes in what I would call upside down. Okay, very cool. Okay. And I don't know, the final thing is probably going to be the power cord. Let's put some stuff in here. Here is our power cord. plug that into there. Very cool, huh? I think our machine is complete. Very awesome, huh? Let me get that chair out of the way. It's too colorful. There we go. Very cool. Ender 3. 3D printer. Okay. Okay, shall we just plug it in and we'll do the spark test. See if any sparks come out of it. Oh gosh. Unplug this garbage. Okay. There we go. Do I dare? Flip the power switch on. To do. Info screen. I guess you can push down to select stuff. You can rotate this knob to choose different options. About printer. Main. Let me turn off that light maybe. About printer information. Marlin 2.0.8.2, October 2021. Creality. Board information. Thermistors. Min temperature, max temperature. I wonder if this is a heated platform. I don't know. Oh shit. Okay. Move axis. Move X. Ten. 1 millimeter. Okay. So I'm turning the knob here. As I'm doing that, it's moving the x-axis. So I can check to make sure that these things are properly hooked up. It looks like it is moving. So there's a check of the x-axis. Oh, it thinks that's 0, so I can't go past 0. Okay. Okay. We'll go back to move axis. We'll try moving the y-axis. How about that? We'll try 1 millimeter at a time. The y-axis is, I guess, the plate down here. So it looks like it is moving that, okay. Stepper motor seems to be operating. Okay. And we'll go back to move axis. And we'll try Z-axis. And we'll do 1 millimeter at a time. And again, the Z-axis should change the height. So it looks like it is moving it up as I move it up. Okay. I can move it back down. So it looks like Z stepper is working properly. And it's zeroed there, so I'm going to have to fix the zeros because you don't want it to be zeroed in the middle of its range, right? Okay. Move axis. We'll try extruder. Hot end too cold. Back. Proceed. Okay, so it says it's too cold to extrude, but I don't have a filament in there. So I will just try seeing if the stepper motor changes. I'm not seeing any changes, but maybe if it overrides and says that since it's too cold, it won't let the motor turn maybe? I don't know. Maybe I gotta wait until it warms up because I'm not seeing anything happening there. Maybe wait a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I tried the temperature. Oh, let's see. How do we do that? I went temperature. I went preheat PLA. Preheat PLA. Let's see, Pro. So we have 100% fan. Not sure what all these temperatures are. Looks like something's getting hotter though. It's 130. Out of what, 200? 200 is the set point maybe? I don't know. We'll see when it gets there. I'm not sure what the 60 degrees over 46 is. The base is getting hot though. It's definitely a heated base. I bet you the nozzle's getting hot too. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to get burnt. Let's take a look there. Here's the nozzle and the base. 182, 183. Maybe I'll be able to change the extruder once it gets up to temperature. That's why I test the extruder stepper motor to make sure that that is working properly as well. Okay, so that nozzle thing changed. Looks like it overshot some. Let's go to motion. Move axis. Let's try extruder. Try moving 1 millimeter at a time. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it seems like the extruder is now turning. Let's see if we can get a better view of that. You can hear it turning. We'll walk around here and see. Let's see the extruder a little bit more. So the extruder must be disabled. So I'm turning this knob down here. Extruder must be disabled. And so I can smell something getting hot. Get more focus. Let me try something. Okay. There, see the extruder stepper motor is working as well. I can turn it forward or backwards. And I was looking at it a little bit more, and it looks like you feed the PLA into this hole on this side. So you probably spool it up here and feed it into there. And then the stepper motor thing grabs it with this gear and forces it through this tube down to the nozzle where it's extruded. Okay, very cool. Okay, do I dare? It needs to be probably auto-homed, that's my guess. You know, there's no directions here, I'm just shooting from the hip. Okay, we'll do motion, auto-home. I'm afraid something might crash though. Maybe I'll just have my finger on the power switch. Okay, so it looks like it's homing this guy. Okay, now it's homing that guy. And this is the one that scares me the most, the Z. It's gonna bring it down, and I don't want the nozzle to crash onto. Well, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll avoid the build plate. Let's bring the Z all the way down. Of course, there's no homing on the fiber because you can just spool the fiber forward or backwards as much as you want for the most part. Okay. I don't think we're going to crash. I hope not. I hope not. Oh gosh. Okay. So it goes down and it touches the switch, then it backs up, and then it touches it again. So maybe that's a more accurate way of homing. Okay, so this thing is homed. Yeah, it looks like there's some kind of things under here where you can control the level or flatness of your build plate. You probably have to get this all zeroed in before you start building. I think we've made a lot of progress. Very exciting, huh? So, anyway, let's take a look here. There is our Ender 3 3D printer. Got it for $100. Took me about half a day to stick it together, but that's including me making a video too. It always takes me longer to do stuff when I'm making a video. Very cool. Looking forward to running this and testing it out. So anyway, this is the end of the build right here. And it looks like possibly got everything working. Tested out all the servo motors. They all seem to be working, all 4 of them. X, Y, Z, and E. Extrude. Very cool. I think we're done. So I'm going to fiddle with trying to build stuff. That'll probably be a second video. I'll test out the extruding. So I think I'm going to end this video with just the assembly of the printer device. And this is Dr. James, and thanks for watching. Oh. Anyway, I hope this helps you out if you having problems assembling this or testing it out. Looks like it's all functional right now. I'm going to do some printing later, probably in the next video. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. This is Dr. James, and thanks for watching.